Right friends, welcome back to second capsule. Micro enterprises too small to grow. The biggest problem is the contribution of MSMEs in manufacturing sector, or you can say the contribution of MSMEs to the overall GDP is coming down. And second important point is micro enterprises are not able to transform to small and medium enterprises. That is biggest worry for our country. And let us go ahead. How do we bifurcate micro, small and medium enterprises? Micro, small and medium enterprises are bifurcated as per MSME Development Act of 2006, and here this is based on the investment in plant and machinery and equipment. It is a plant and machinery in case of manufacture or production of goods, and at the same time it is equipment in case of services. And depending on the investment in plant and machinery as well as equipment, here they are bifurcated into micro, small and medium enterprises, and these put together are known as MSMEs. Right? Let us look at the first point. Here I am talking about the MSMEs as a whole. MSMEs means micro, small and medium enterprises. Here I am talking about total contribution of MSMEs to the manufacturing. If you look at 2006, almost 10 years ago, the contribution of MSMEs towards manufacturing was 42%, and it came down to 37% in 2013. This is one aspect. If you look at second aspect, MSMEs share in total GDP. MSMEs share in total GDP was 7.7% in 2006. It came down to 7% in 2013. This indicates that MSMEs are not increasing in gross value added. So, MSMEs are almost stagnant because our GDP is increasing at the rate of around 7%, 8%, 9% during the past 10 years. But here the contribution of MSMEs to overall GDP in fact reduced from 7.7% to 7%. Then if you look at next point, number of employees. Number of employees in 2006-7, 81 million. 2015-16, 117 million. Here the important point to note is the number of employees are increasing from 81 million to 117 million, but the interesting point to note is the percentage share of MSMEs in total GDP reduced. And at the same time, the total contribution in manufacturing by MSMEs also reduced. So, this indicates that the productivity of per employee is decreasing in fact. Right? Let us look at micro enterprises only. Here, number of average employees per enterprise is less than 3 persons, but there is no count of unregistered micro units, and hence it is not possible to come to the exact conclusion. Right? We have discussed the contribution of MSMEs to the overall manufacturing sector as well as overall GDP. And now further inference on micro enterprises. So, having learned this, the fundamental point or the discussion of today's topic is why micro enterprises are not upgrading to medium and small enterprises. Why the upgradation of micro enterprises to small and medium enterprises is not taking place. Here you see micro enterprises are increasing. You see the ground reality. Micro enterprises are increasing, but their contribution to the economy is reducing. Right? This is picture of micro enterprise. At the same time, there is hardly any transit from unregistered to the registered units. Most of the micro enterprises as on date also unregistered, and the actual calculations are not available in our country. Most of the MSMEs continue to be micro-sized. There are not many efforts to transform them from micro to macro level. So this is the ground reality in our country. Unless they are migrated from micro level to macro level, then the total value added in the country in manufacturing cannot increase. And there should be incentives for migration, and at the same time an ecosystem must be developed for transition from micro enterprises to small and medium enterprises. This requires government support. Not only that, technological upgradation is also required, and most of the micro enterprises are working with age-old tools and they are employing age-old practices. Technology upgradation is not up to the mark. And if you look at Germany's example, Germany is one of the countries where success story of MSMEs is there. In Germany, MSMEs contribute 57% to GVA, and as much as 35% is from the small and medium sectors. And here you see, out of the MSMEs of Germany, 79% are micro and they employ 19% of the workforce. And small and medium units comprise only 14%, but they employ 47% of the total workforce. So the point to make here is India's micro enterprises are not growing, technologically they are not upgraded, and India's micro enterprises are basically working with below par productivity. In fact, there is no ecosystem to upgrade them to small and medium enterprises, and now the need of the hour is to upgrade them to small and medium enterprises so that they can improve their productivity. Right? Then the next one is present problems with MSMEs. Here, what are the present problems with MSMEs? There are several institutions from government side. SIDBI is one such institution. Basically, this is for refinancing MSMEs, and Mudra recently started. This is refinancing agency for micro enterprises, and you should not forget National Small Industries Corporation is basically for technological upgradation of MSMEs. But are the institutions working up to the proper level or desired level? This is $1,000,000 question. Here you see, most of the institutions remain micro-sized forever, and they are inefficient due to lack of technology upgradation. Most of them employ traditional method, as I have already told you, and the appetite, the desire for enhancing to small enterprises and medium enterprises is lacking. There are several institutions to look at them like NSIC, SIDBI, MSME Development Institute, Mudra, but these are not delivering in general in this direction. Mudra is too early, it is too early to comment on Mudra, but remaining organizations have not raised up to that level. There is also lack of supervision while implementing credit guarantee schemes. And now what needs to be done? Here the first point is, so here the need of the hour is for micro enterprises to scale up with ambition, and at least some of them must upgrade in due course of time to small and medium enterprises, and here government incentives should also be there, and the government must come up with technology upgradation for micro enterprises, and subsequently once the micro enterprises migrate to small enterprises, then government must support with interest subvention as well as capital subsidy for small and medium enterprises. So when they are investing 1 crore rupees on machinery, government must give capital subsidy, say 20 lakhs or 10 lakhs, something like that. So interest subvention, what the government is giving for certain sections. So similar interest subvention scheme must be available as incentive when micro enterprises migrate to small enterprises, and at the same time this capital subsidy must also be there for investments in machinery. Next point, if you see, Mudra loans may help the micro enterprises, but the important point is it may not lead them to upgradation. good ecosystem must be developed in the country with more emphasis on medium and small enterprises, and the definition of micro, small and medium enterprises must be changed from investment towards employment generation. At present, rules stipulate they are investment based, but they should shift towards employment generation, and subsequently the government can think of giving incentives based on the employment potential of the enterprise. Right? So, we discussed in detail with regard to the micro enterprises, the need for upgrading them to small and medium enterprises, basically to improve productivity. Technology upgradation is the need of the hour, and government protection must be there, or you can say government incentives in the form of this interest subsidy as well as capital subsidy. Like this, government must give incentives. Overall, there is a need for developing the ecosystem, right? With this, let us conclude second capsule. Have a nice day. Thank you.